Hey guys, it's Justice for Comics again. After I shooting that video, I just decided, well, I might as well just get it out of the way and do that top 10 list from comic book. I think it's from comicbookinvest.com. They run a top 10 list every Friday, and some of them I agree with and some of them I don't, but I thought I would highlight this week's top 10 list and kind of, give you guys my thoughts and opinions. Let's jump into it. So here's their website, and I went right to their top 10 for this last week. Number one, they have listed here Stan Lee Signature Series. So anything Amazing Spider-Man that has a Stan Lee CGC verified signature has been kind of heating up, apparently, at least on eBay. My thoughts on that are Stan Lee has signed so many different things over the years. I mean, his signature is so abundant. Maybe 50, 100 years from now, there could be some value to his signature. But right now, obviously, there is some value because he just passed away. And, a lot of people are trying to take advantage of that, I suppose, by asking crazy prices. But it's not like Stan Lee's signature is rare, right? He signs a ton of shit. He signed everything. He would do shows. He just was a prolific signer, right? I mean, there's probably 1,000 signatures of Stan Lee for every one signature of Steve Ditko. Probably 10,000 signatures per one of Steve Ditko's. So, value, is it going to be valuable long term? I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems inflated. I would be very, very cautious. I personally don't have anything signed by Stan Lee. I never met the man. I've never been comfortable buying an autographed comic book because usually, the premium is for the signature, and I don't care that much about the signature. I'm not saying that Stan Lee wasn't important or he wasn't an important part of comic book history. He obviously was, but I just don't get excited about autographs, I guess. Just doesn't really do anything for me. So that's just my personal take on it. I do think that the prices of a lot of his stuff right now, his signed books, especially Amazing Spider-Man, anything Amazing Spider-Man right now is, people are asking a lot of money for that on eBay. I'm not sure that they're getting that, but they're asking a lot. So I'd be very, very cautious of that. Number two is the Marvel 75th Anniversary Celebration, number one. I wasn't aware of this book, but apparently this is one of the last stories that Stan Lee had written, and apparently prior to his passing away, you could have bought this book for very little money, and now it's shot up to $50. I mean, the cover's kind of cool. It's kind of a reprint, and then there's some new stories in there as well, but I never picked that up. I don't know much about it. It's not something that would normally look appealing to me. But hey, if you think you're gonna buy it now and at $50 and that it's gonna be worth $100 at some point, good luck to you. I don't think that it will be the case. It's not like it's a first appearance of anybody, and once the hype dies down of Stan Lee's passing, I think these books are going to drop in price. That's my opinion. Let's go down the list a little bit here. Immortal Hulk number 2. This is the first appearance of Dr. Fry. I wasn't aware of this, but I remember watching in the 70s some of those Incredible Hulk episodes with Lou Ferrigno, but apparently Dr. Fry was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk from the 70s TV series. I wasn't aware of that, but I read about that the other day. So, I picked up a couple issues of this number 2. I think recently I did a video where I picked one up for cover price. I was at a shop that still had it on the wall for cover price. And now you know, it's a $20 to $30 book on eBay. I do recall looking for this on eBay, and there weren't very many copies for sale. So I think the print run on this is pretty low. Usually issue number 1 of a relaunch, you know, the print run's pretty high, and then the print run drops dramatically on issue 2 or 3. So, you know, this is a hot book. You might be able to find it still in certain comic shops. I mean, I'm telling you, 2 weeks ago, I found this still on the shelf at one of the local shops for cover price. So if you find it out in the wild, grab it, because, you know, I definitely think it's worth having. It's a first appearance, and this series is becoming more and more popular. More and more people are talking about it. I think the print run has been rising on it lately. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of people that go back and look to buy these earlier issues. So even look for like a number 3 and a 4. I think that would be worth buying, especially if you can get it for cover. I think those would be worth picking up because you're going to get a lot of people that want to complete a run on that series. So, yeah, Immortal Hulk, it's great. It's one of the best books to buy right now. You've got beautiful Alex Ross covers, and Al Ewing writing is just phenomenal. So, very, very good book. One of the top Marvel books to get, in my opinion, is Immortal Hulk. Number 4 on the list is Middle West, and this is the Scotty Young variant. It was a 1 in 20 variant. I had highlighted this book on, I think, 2 videos ago. So on New Comic Book Day this Wednesday, I did a highlight on this book. I was able to get 1 copy, and I think I also told the story how I went into one shop and this guy wrestled it out of my hand. So I could have had 2 copies of this book, but you know, it's definitely going up in price. I picked it up around $30, and it says here that it's north of $60. I think it's coming back down. I think you can probably pick this up for $40 to $50 right now on eBay. Might be a good long-term thing to buy. If this series really, really takes off, it gets optioned eventually. You know, this will be the cover to have, will be this the Scotty Young variant. It is a pretty cool image. I mean, I like the artwork on it on a white cover. It is appealing. So, you know, that could be a good book to have in your personal collection long term. Dead Rabbit number 1. Looks like that's the A cover. It's hitting $15 to $20. I do have the variant of this, so I've got the Dave Johnson variant, and it says that one is between $35 and $40. And I bought that Dave Johnson variant for cover price. I got it for $3.99, which is crazy. But the heat on this book is because it's being recalled. Apparently there's a bar in, I think it's in Boston, called the Dead Rabbit, and it's trademarked. So they sent a cease and desist letter to Todd McFarlane saying, you know, you can't use this title anymore. It's trademarked. And so I don't know if this comic book is dead now. I'd be careful speculating on this. You know, it sounds like the title, at least the title Dead Rabbit, they're going to have to change it perhaps if they want to keep it going. I like the story. I mean, the first 2 issues were very, very good. I like the story on it. So the recall is kind of making this a hot book. You know, dealers are supposed to pull them off the shelf and not sell them. So that's why you're seeing a kind of a spike in the secondary market on that book. But, you know, I don't know. I'd be careful speculating on this book just because if it's a trademark violation and they can't ever use the name again, it could be the death sentence of this comic book. And I don't know too many people who are going to want this book if they can't continue writing it and can't develop it more. You know, that could be an issue long term. So I'd be careful buying it. You know, if you could buy it for cover, get it, but I would not pay a premium on any of those issues. That's my opinion on that. Batgirl number 18. I had highlighted this book 2 videos ago. I had picked this up at a local comic book shop for $4, and apparently there's heat on this book right now. It's hitting $30 right now. It's just an earlier Middleton variant. It's kind of a cool image with Harley Quinn on it, and there's snow. It kind of has that snow effect. Yeah, I mean it's a nice looking cover. I wouldn't pay $30 for it, so I'm glad I was able to pick it up for, you know, just a slightly above cover price. But I definitely would not. I would not pay $25, $30 for this book. I mean, I don't know. Long term, I think it's probably peaking at the value right now. I don't see it, you know, I don't see it going up to what issue 23 is for sure. The image is not that good. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not it's not an iconic image like the 23rd issue is. Black Hammer #1, I had mentioned that also on my last video or so, 2 videos ago, that I was picking this up. You know, there's going for 30, it's probably like $40 for issue #1 now. I mean, I've seen some sales at 25 to 30, but it seems like there's more listings at $40 and up. So, you know, don't wait on this if you're thinking about getting Black Hammer and collecting the series. You know, there's a San Diego Comic-Con variant. There's only 500 of those. And I remember seeing that on eBay for like 125 to 150 bucks, and I thought about pulling the trigger on it, and I didn't. And now that's selling for 300, and that's an ungraded 300. So, you know, there's a lot of heat on it. It's got optioned. I think they're going to make a movie off of it. The story is good. I've started to read it. I'm on issue number 3 or 4 right now, and it is pretty good. So, you know, I collected the whole run. I think I'm just missing issue number 5, but my last video I was highlighting, you know, that I was picking up a lot of the back issues on that comic. Number 8 is Green Lantern. This is the local comic book. I think they do what's called local comic book day on that issue. So there's a limited print run of this. I was saying the print run on this is like, I don't know, 500 copies maybe. So, you know, I saw it on Midtown. It sold out very quickly on Midtown. I mean, I think I got on there 3 or 4 minutes after they had posted the books, and it was already sold out. So Midtown didn't have too many copies available, and they were asking 50 bucks for it. I don't know what this is going on eBay for right now, but I would say it's at least north of 50 bucks. It's probably going to be $75 to $80 for this. I don't think it's worth buying. You know, okay, the print run's low, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see where this. It's just a relaunch of Green Lantern, is all it is. There's no new character introduced in that first issue or anything. So I'd be careful about buying that. I wouldn't pay too much money, over 50 bucks, if I were you. Number 9, Black Order #1. This is the In-Hook Lee 1 in 50 variant. Yeah, it's a nice looking cover. I did pick this up for myself through Midtown. I don't have my Midtown order. I should get it this week. But I picked it up for like 50 bucks. It is a 1 in 50. And now it's selling, I guess, even before it came out last Wednesday, it was selling around 200 bucks. And now it's settled down in the 125 to 150 range. You know, obviously that makes me happy because I only paid $50 for it, but, you know, I don't know. I'm debating whether to sell it. I had bought it with the idea that maybe this thing would spike because of the variant, and it's a very good artist, In-Hook Lee, and it's a 1 in 50. There's probably not a lot of people buying this title. It is issue #1, but the Black Order, you know, it's sort of a side series off of Thanos. The first appearance of Black Order, I believe, was a New Avengers number 8 or 9. I know you guys will correct me in the comments, but I think, you know, it's obviously not the first appearance of the Black Order. So long term, you know, I definitely would not pay $125 to $150 for this book. You know, I don't think this book is going to be $500, $600 eventually. I mean, it might go back up to $200, $250 maybe, but you know, I'd be a little wary of that. I don't think it's, you know, maybe if you could get this on a buy it now, make an offer for $100, it might be worth it at 100. But I'd just be a little cautious on that. I don't think this book is going to easily get back up to 200 anytime soon. The other one that I saw this on Midtown, it's a Xenoscope book, which you know, Xenoscope usually is not a book I care about. You know, I think most of their titles are like the grim fairy tales, and you know, usually it's hot women on covers. So this one, when I saw it, I thought, oh man, I want to get it. So I selected it in my cart on Midtown, and for some reason it didn't go all the way to checkout for me. So I ended up missing it, and it pisses me off because I think I had selected. I wanted 2 copies of this book too, because I right when I saw it, I thought, oh, this is going to be a hot book, and I ended up missing it. And I found a local comic book shop that was able to order me a couple copies. So I will be getting this for the $5 price. $25, you know, it's a cool cover. I don't know what the story is, but obviously it has to do with conspiracy theories. It is a cool cover, so that's the reason I was buying it, but I don't think, you know, I'd be cautious to buy that at $25, $30. I don't know. I mean, it's cool looking, but if you could pick this up for $8 to $10, I think that would be a good price to pay, but I wouldn't pay more than that. So that's kind of the top 10 list for this week. I also wanted to highlight another book that I thought was worth getting. And this is the Stephanie Hans. Yeah, there's the image. That book is going to be hot. That's coming out this coming Wednesday. It's selling in the $250 range and up. So, yeah, this was a book that was on Midtown for maybe 30 seconds at around $50, and it was gone quickly. And I was able to pick it up on eBay for about $125, and now it's selling well north of $200. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is a really cool cover. I don't know how many of them are out there, so it remains to be seen whether this becomes a really, really hot book. I don't think it's going to be like Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider #1, where that thing went to $500, $600. But yeah, I think this could easily be a $250 to $300, you know, sustainable price for this book. So yeah, if you find this at a shop, the only way you're going to find this, you're not going to find it online. eBay is going to be, right now, I think the cheapest you'll get it on eBay is about maybe $270, $275. So it's up there already. Maybe at a local shop, you might be able to pick it up. You know, there might be a deal. It's got to be a big comic book shop, because this is, you know, Ironheart. I don't think it was a heavily ordered book. I don't think the print run is huge on it. But you might find a big shop out there that might have ordered 50 copies. And maybe the dealer doesn't know that this book is that expensive. So I would, you know, if you could buy this for $100 or under, I think it's a good investment. But I'd be careful spending considerably more than $100. I mean, I paid $125 for it, so obviously I was willing, excuse me, I was willing to put that much money down. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far it's worked out. It's going for a lot more than I paid for it. But I'd be cautious. I mean, sometimes these books are really hot the first week or two, and then they come way back down. So it is a beautiful cover. I mean, it's a nice looking image. Just be careful. I wouldn't go crazy on it. I definitely would not pay, you know, anywhere near $300 for it. But if you could get it in that lower $100 range, it might be worth it. Or if you can certainly get it below $100, it'd be a fantastic pickup. All right, guys, that's kind of all I had for this video. I'll be shooting another video on Wednesday, highlighting books coming out for next Wednesday. I think I already mentioned that in the last video. So yeah, please look for that. And if you haven't already, please hit the bell for notifications, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, have a good one.